That summer, we went on a vacation to a small seaside town with my family. The sun was shining, the sea was deep blue. Everything was perfect at first. We swam, built sand castles and ate ice cream. But on the third day, something strange happened while I was playing in the sea. As I was swimming, my foot got tangled in something like a thin string. Suddenly, I saw a white shadow under the water. Scared, I quickly got out. I told my family. But they said, it must have been a wave playing tricks on you. That night, I saw the white shadow again in my dream. It was staring at me, reaching out its arms. When I woke up, there was a small handprint on my window. I was terrified. The next day, we went back to the sea. As I was about to dive in, I heard a whisper in my ear. "Help me get out." Terrified, I ran out of the water. My mom again said, "You're imagining things." But the voice felt real. On the last day of the vacation, we found an old pier while walking on the beach. When I woke up, there was a small handprint on my window. I was terrified. The next day, we went back to the sea. As I was about to dive in, I heard a whisper in my ear. "Help me get out." Terrified, I ran out of the water. My mom again said, "You're imagining things." But the voice felt real. On the last day of the vacation, we found an old pier while walking on the beach. When we looked under it, we saw an old moss-covered doll underwater. It had no eyes, but it felt like it was staring at me. My dad tried to pull it out, but the doll sank even deeper. The next day, we got in the car to return home. Just as I started to feel safe, I saw the small handprint again on the back window. I froze in fear. My mom looked back and saw nothing, but I knew it hadn't left us. When we got home, I felt a little relieved. Being away from the sea comforted me, but things changed at night. I was sleeping in my room. The wind was blowing through the window. Then, tap, 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 a small hand was touching the window. I woke up and looked into the darkness. Outside the window was the white shadow again. It looked like a little girl with long hair, but she had no eyes, just black emptiness staring at me. I heard her voice again. "Why did you leave me?" I screamed. My parents rushed into the room, but no one was outside the window. The next day, strange things started happening in the house. My toys were moving on their own during the night. When I woke up, I found seashells at the edge of my bed, even though we were miles away from the sea. One night, while playing with the shadows of my lamp, I saw her shadow on the wall. The silhouette of a little girl slowly moved along the wall. Then it stepped out of the wall and entered my room. I heard her footsteps. Click, click, click. I couldn't move. My breath was stuck. She stood at the edge of my bed and whispered, "You shouldn't have left me there." I kept my eyes closed until morning. My mum took me to a psychologist, but no one believed me. They all said one evening the power went out. The house was completely dark. I grabbed my flashlight and walked into the hallway. I heard the sound of water. As I approached, I saw wet footprints on the floor, as if someone had come from the sea and walked into our house. Suddenly, my flashlight went out. I felt an icy breath behind me. The whisper echoed in my ear. "I am here now." I passed out. After that night, my mum found me passed out on my bed, but I was no longer the same. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw her. She whispered to me, not just at night, but even during the day. Help me, or I'll stay with you forever. Strange things kept happening in the house. Salt water dripped from the walls. The bathroom faucets ran salty water. The house smelled like the sea. One night, I woke up again. This time, my bedroom door opened by itself. At the doorway stood the white figure. Her eyeless face stared at me. Behind her, I could hear the sound of waves, though we were in the house. Frozen, I whispered, "Who are you?" She answered in a thin voice, "I'm Leva. I drowned in that sea years ago. No one found me. You noticed me. Now I won't leave you." I started crying out of fear. My parents didn't hear me. It was like they were under a spell in their rooms. Leva walked toward me. With each step, seashells and seaweed appeared beneath her feet. Her dress was wet and dripping. She stood at the edge of my bed and reached out her hand. Just before she touched me, I remembered the seashell necklace my grandmother gave me. I took it off and held it towards her. Leva suddenly screamed, "No, I don't want to go back." A strong wind blew inside the room. The windows flew open, and a salty mist filled the room. Then Leva's silhouette disappeared into the mist. In the morning, everything seemed normal. But outside the window, one last sign remained. A small handprint. But this time, there were no seaweeds behind it. My parents remembered nothing. But since that day, I've never looked at the sea the same way again. Because I know some spirits get lost in the sea, but they never completely leave.